Hey yo guys, what's happening? It's your boy Rain TJ back again with another episode of Just a Thought. And before I get into this week's episode, you gotta go follow me on Instagram. Let's begin. Alright guys, so this week I want to talk about jobs, right? Because I feel like every time I talk to somebody about the future of like things, one of the most reoccurring points, and I understand it, is the loss of jobs. Certain jobs that we will lose as things get more animated and as more robotics are implemented into our everyday commerce. So this week I want to talk about like 9 jobs that we used to have that we don't really think about anymore to show that this is just a part of life. You know what I mean? So job number 1, we have log roller. Log rollers were people who used to stand on logs as they put them on the river. They'll put them on the river, and as they flew downstream, or not flew but rode downstream, they would stand on the logs and direct their way to their destination before truckers, right? Before trucks, before that industry boomed and the demand for more logs and to get there faster and all that. And now someone could have said, yo, trucking would take away the log roller's job. And then now we don't even think about the log roller. And why would you do that? That seems so dangerous, right? This is the way we think about it now, right? Look at that. That's one example. And from the trucking, you have gas stations. That's another job. From that, you have the demand for snacks, cigarettes, everything that they sell at the gas station. All of that is based on, the log roller losing his job. Second, we have the knocker upper. The knocker upper is, or was, the person who would come in with a long stick, knock on your window, and wake you up at a certain time before the alarm clock, right? And then when the alarm clock came about, they started losing their jobs. And then the alarm clock would have come with technicians to fix it, people to design it, produce it, and other convenience stores would have sold it, made a profit off of it. And then cell phones came out with the alarm clock app, or the feature, right? So then the alarm clock, it lost its, importance, its value. People lost that as something to fix, so there's no alarm clock repairman, or maybe there's a few left, things like that. But now you have the cell phone technician, right? You have people who could fix apps for you if anything's broken, things like that, right? So there's another example. Job number 3 is the executioner, right? Once upon a time, there was someone whose job was to kill someone else. It's kind of nuts to think about, right? So we don't have him no more, but we have the death penalty, right? We still have the guy or the team of people who inject you with the lethal dose. We have the people who engineer it. We have the people who supply it. We have the people who load it onto the trucks. We have the truck drivers who drive it. All that's a spin-off. Job number 4. Job number 4 is the lamplighter. When have you ever heard of a lamplighter? A lamplighter was someone who would go around in the evening time and light the lamps in the cities. And I always used to think about that. Back in the day when they used lamps, did they just walk around with lamps, or did someone go around and light the lamps all the time? Yes, someone did go around and light the lamps at a certain time. They're called lamplighters. Now we have solar paneled or solar powered lights that turn on their own at a certain time when the sun goes down, or not even a certain time. Maybe yes, a certain time is set into it, but also when it's dark enough outside, so when the sun goes down or if it's overcast, turns on its own. We don't need no lamplighter. What? Job number 5 was a town crier. A town crier is someone who would stand up on a little podium and shout out news and read things to the town in the town square way back in the day. And that was a job. It's no longer a job, and we no longer think about it because we've progressed. We've had we've had progress. We have the radio station. People could listen to that. We have podcasts. We have music. We have our own headphones. Everyone has their own individual devices that they could listen to. Yes, this separates us from the community aspect of the community, but a town crier? Nowadays, people look at people like that and walk past them straight, or they just, don't you have anything to do? That's what people think nowadays because of how the culture has evolved and how things have changed. We're always losing jobs and we're always getting new ones. After the town crier, the radio talk show host, or the blogger, you know, other things come about. So, job number 6. Job number 6 was the ice cutter. That was someone's job to go out there before refrigeration, before we had the personal fridge. Cooling things down was pretty expensive, and they had people who would go out there to colder areas in frozen times and whatnot and cut out ice. That was their job, to go and cut out these lumps of ice and bring it back to the town, the city, areas like that, and sell it. And these jobs were pretty dangerous. You could lose your life. You could fall in the hole and freeze, or just get a hypothermia. So that's a job that we no longer have, we no longer need. And what you could just go to your fridge now and put your glass. You know the sound it makes? And get ice. Just like that. Once upon a time, someone had to hop on a truck, drive out with a bunch of fellas, go somewhere really cold with their pickaxe, their tools, and whatever they had, spend however long, the whole day maybe, and cut out these ice and risk their lives. Now we could literally just put our glass to our fridge, no thought to it at all. That's a whole job, generations of jobs that was like generations of people did that. Like that was a thing. Now it's just, you get what I'm saying? Job 7, something pretty similar. It's a milkman, before just going to the grocery store and buying a carton of milk or a bottle of milk or whatever you want to say, and then putting it in your fridge and know you could have it for a couple of days and use it, you good. There was someone who would go around with fresh milk, driving around in their little put, or walk around with their cart and have fresh milk and just give it to you. Well, not give it to you, but sell it, or you would pay for a subscription of some sort. And that was the milkman. That was his job. Now people just have the convenience of going to a grocery store, a local store, a 7-Eleven, the corner store, and getting milk, putting it in their fridge, their own fridge, and storing it longer than they could have way back when. You know what I mean? All these are jobs that are just gone now and we don't even think about because of the technologies we already have. Job number 8, the miner's canary. This one's not really a human job. It was a job that was for birds. Well, what miners used to do was have canaries with them. So if there was like gas, methane or whatever that was leaking out of the earth, the mine, the cave, whatnot, if the birds stopped chirping and died or knocked out, that was an early sign that, you need to get out of here. There's some gas somewhere. And that's what the miner's canary was. Now we have early warning indication systems, and gas detectors, smoke detectors, methane detectors, all these different things. Pretty soon, we're going to have robotics replace that and no longer need the human to risk their lives. And that's the argument today now. Miners are probably saying, we're going to lose our jobs. The bird, we no longer use the bird, So there's progress and evolution to everything, and every which way we do it, we try to find a better way to do it, So last and not least, job number 9. Job number 9 was the one I've been thinking about the longest. The whole reason I wanted to do this episode. I've been thinking about phone operators. Like, once upon a time, when there wasn't enough phones out there, when they just had phones, you would call, you wouldn't even call. You would just, because I remember as a kid, I could call the operator and I could ask them for a number of a place that I didn't know, right? Like if I didn't know the number to, I don't know, the local library, could call the operator, ask them, and they'll get it for you. Now, well, now you could just go in iMaps, Google Maps, whatever, and find it. But there was a brief time before that when it was like, how do I get the number? And you probably have to go on Google and look it up. But once upon a time, there was the operator. You just pick up your phone, and it will go straight to the operator, and you say, "Hello, operator. Can I go to, like, Philadelphia 4405?" Because there was probably only 5,000 phones, so maybe the 4,405th phone was your friend's. You tell the operator that, okay. They pull out the lines and they connect it somewhere else, and that's how they would connect people. Look at that. Look at how communication has constantly evolved. We went from the can and the string to and well, before that, the smoke and all of that, and then the phone operator, and now that whole job, that whole industry, because that was a big thing, obviously, is entirely, well, I shouldn't say entirely, but majority of it is gone. And all you got to do now to call someone is just go on your phone and dial their number. Like, you don't need the phone operator anymore. And that's just how it is, like, progress, you know? So when people speak about how we're going to lose this job and that job, maybe it's going to just grow into something else. And so what? Like, we've always been doing it, and by the time we lose that job, something is going to come about to repair the thing that took that job, upgrade the thing that took that job. It's just life. Things just evolve. And that's today's episode, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. It's Just a Thought with Ray and TJ. Alright, everybody, have a great day.